of import cover. The G2G arrangement for the importation of petroleum products that accounts for up to 30% of Kenya's USD requirements is expected to not only stabilize the exchange rate, but also to lead to the appreciation of the Kenya shilling. Mr. Speaker, let me now highlight some of the immediate steps that the government is taking to stabilize the economy and set the country on a growth trajectory. These are several, but I'll just try and pick out a few. Mr. Speaker, as the House will appreciate, the measures to cushion Kenyans from the high cost of living, as well as reduce the cost of basic commodities, as I have enumerated above, will invariably also result in a stabilized economy. I will therefore take this opportunity to highlight other measures aimed at stabilizing the economy. First, the government remains committed to programs jointly formulated with its development partners, through which we anticipate to get much needed budget support. And I believe when the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury will be speaking to Parliament in a few weeks' time, he will elaborate on this. We will continue bolstering economic resilience by pursuing prudent macroeconomic policies geared at reducing debt vulnerabilities and supporting sustainable and inclusive development. Mr. Speaker, through the Fiscal Consolidation Program, we aim to continue with our revenue mobilization and expenditure prioritization policies geared towards economic recovery. This will support sustained, rapid, and inclusive economic growth and safeguard livelihoods, thus creating a physical space for the implementation of government priority programs. With inflation remaining above the target band, our monetary policy will remain focused on maintaining price stability by resisting the pass-through of second-round effects from higher food and fuel prices to other prices and keeping inflationary pressures well anchored. Over the medium term, inflation is expected to return to the midpoint of 5% of our target band. Our target band is 2.5 to 7.5%. The central bank, on its part, has proactively tightened its monetary policy stance to prevent second-round effects and keep inflation expectations anchored. The CBK rate was raised to 9.5% in March 2023. This is expected to gradually reduce inflation in the coming months. The exchange rate flexibility has worked as a shock absorber in the face of a variety of external shocks and will continue to do so to help support our competitiveness, protect reserves, and facilitate efficient functioning of our domestic foreign exchange market. Mr. Speaker, these policies are mutually reinforcing in support of maintaining macroeconomic stability and resilience, ensuring fiscal and debt sustainability, and enhancing buffers against external shocks. The government will implement the bottom-up economic transformation agenda that is geared towards economic turnaround and inclusive growth as specified in the budget policy statement, which I am happy to note this House has already approved. Finally, it is important to take cognizance of the functioning of markets, especially on the supply side, where there are threats to market like political unrest, strikes, and Maandamano. The functionality of the markets is impaired thus slowing down economic recovery. Mr. Speaker, I pause there.